Welcome back to another episode of the Girl Boss Brand podcast. I'm your host, Satara Brown, and every week I'm taking you behind the scenes of what it really takes to bet on yourself. Before we get into this week's episode, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. If you're not already following my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe, thegirlbossbrand.com. If you are watching or if you are listening on the audio version, make sure you head over to YouTube and subscribe as well as like my channel. Before I get started, I just wanted to do a check-in as always. I changed the name of my podcast to The Girl Boss Brand because I just want to be in alignment with the ecosystem that I am creating through Girl Boss. And my former name, The Strategy Is Her, had to be put to rest because I just don't want to confuse my audience. If you haven't already heard the first season of this podcast, which was called The Strategy Is Her, head over to my YouTube. All 4 episodes are there and it will bring you up to speed. Now, you can see I'm in a brand new, beautiful, beautiful studio. This is the studio and the look that I'm going to be going with moving forward. As you know, I am growing and going as I go, and you guys are all on this journey with me. To pick up where we left off from last week, we spoke a lot about cleaning out your dirty closet. And to give you an update on where I'm at in terms of cleaning out my dirty closet, I was actually having a conversation with one of my friends, and they were like, are you really cleaning out your dirty closet or are you moving things around? And I was like, wow, that's really good because like I mentioned before, I only have 2 closets and one of them is just still not in order. And I thought this process was going to be 1, 2, 3, stay up all night, throw everything out. And I'm still not done cleaning out this closet. And it's taking me much longer than I can. And while I'm continuing to feel weird and in the space that is misalignment, it's because I'm not letting go of the things that need to be gone. Everyone wants alignment, but nobody wants to let go of anything. So if you can resonate with that, I'm always going to give you a homework assignment every single episode. Make sure you're tending to that dirty closet. If it doesn't align anymore, it doesn't stay. I think a lot of times we don't know what misalignment actually looks and feels like, but we know that it's a feeling of feeling off. And sometimes misalignment can show up as you overthinking, as you feeling stuck, as you being busy but not moving forward. And just take the time to do an audit of your life. Like, think about your daily life currently and how busy you are in the day-to-day, but you feel like you're going nowhere fast. And even translate that to your business. I've been doing so much work in my business. Like, I took the big leap months ago to be a full-time entrepreneur. I secured some really big clients. I am generating money, but I don't have the systems in place to handle all of this overflow that's coming that I actually pray for. And that just shows how I'm in misalignment, right? So on the last episode, I spoke about like feeling like in this really like weird, awkward place. And I went and I hired staff. So I'm like, listen, I can't do this job on my own. I want to go to the next level, but I don't have the infrastructure in place. I don't have the systems in place currently to reach the levels that I want to reach. That goes back to my closet, right? Like, there's no way I can have all of these sneakers, all of these shoes, all of these different outfits, suits, yoga outfits. I have like 30 yoga mats in my closet. I have Girl Boss brand stuff in my closet. And you really can't organize misalignment. You can't fix something that's not meant for you anymore. And I say that to say, the way that I was operating my business, I was operating my business as a solo person, as a solopreneur, as a consultant. And that shift from a single consultant to an agency looks very different. So I have to let go of those old habits that I have in business if I want to go to the next level. And what does that look like for me? That means no longer having a mess in my closet, having things all over the floor, right? How does that translate to my business? That means that I'm no longer keeping my schedule in my head. I am gonna start using my Outlook calendar, right? I'm gonna use a booking site so that people can book calls with me instead of sending me text messages or going back and forth in email. I'm gonna put the systems in place so that my business can operate with or without me, because it's not about me. It's about the impact that my company and my brand has. And that just requires new heights, new levels, and new practices. Everybody wants alignment, but nobody wants to let go of anything. And we want growth. We want to do new things. We want to do exciting things. And when you're in that feeling of misalignment, sometimes you get scared, and sometimes you're a little apprehensive about moving forward, and you might start cleaning out that closet and then you stop. Same thing in business. But once you start, you have to keep going, because you don't want to just be stuck where you are. And you're asking for growth while holding on to things that don't match your next level, and it's not really getting you anywhere. And I'm in this season of growth, and I'm in this season of, if it doesn't align, it doesn't stay. And it's an everyday work in progress, me personally and professionally. And, alignment really requires your honesty. What doesn't fit anymore in your life or your business? Are they your clients that you've had in the past? Are they offers that you no longer want to offer anymore? Are they habits that you have? Is it your environment? And I say that to say, when you're doing an audit of yourself and your business, think about your customer avatar. What do your clients look like? Where do they shop? Where do they work? What are their habits and hobbies? What do they like to do on the weekend? What is their income level? What are things that are important to them? If I am a wellness brand and I want to attract women who will pay a $169 monthly membership, I would think that my customer avatar would look like someone who values health and wellness, someone who has extra money to spend, so they might be of a certain tax bracket. And thinking of that, right? And thinking of alignment and where you want your brand and your business to go and grow, as well as your life, your old customer avatar might not be your new customer avatar. And in relations to me, when I started my consulting business, it was during COVID. I helped a lot of women across the United States in starting either their LLCs or corporations or nonprofits. And for me, it was kind of like one-offs. So I helped over 75 women. They would answer a survey, and they would pay me a fee, and I would just file the paperwork. And that was the extent of the relationship. While that's still a service that I offer, I have evolved, and I am looking to help already established business owners who have their LLCs, who are making consistent sales, help them get to the next level, right? So by putting those systems in place, by providing marketing and communications to them, but that customer profile looks different than the person who I was targeting back in 2020. So, while you're in this weird stage of alignment and moving forward, you have to really take this audit of your life, your business, and what things look like, because I can't expect someone who is looking to pay $600 or $800 in a one-shot deal to form their LLC to pay me a $3,500 a month retainer, because they might not be at that point in their life. So, back to what I was saying about alignment requires honesty. That also goes into your offers, right? If you are, let's say, a business owner and you sell hair care products, you might not want to come off the back and have Beyonce prices of $59 for a shampoo if you know that your clientele that you are targeting is not able to afford that. So maybe you might start at $20, right? And maybe that the number of ounces might be less, or maybe it would just, you have to tailor your offerings so that they make sense to whoever it is you're trying to attract, because you won't seal those deals if you're not in alignment. So the word for today in this episode and this week is alignment. And while we continue to clean out our dirty closet, and we're not going to put a timeline on that because it's all personal. Like I said before, I have a cleaning lady. She comes to my house all the time. She cleans my house. On the surface, you would never know that I have a dirty closet. I don't even think my friends, my family members, anyone knows that my closet is dirty, because cleaning out your closet is an inner thing that only you can do. It's a task only you can do. It can only be done in your time frame. It can only be done on your accord. So, in cleaning out your closet, let's think about our habits and our environment. While I was in the funk that I was in last week, I realized that I've lost track of going to yoga as regularly as I was. I was thinking that, seasonal depression is a thing. It hasn't really been sun shining here. It's been raining a lot. And I started going for walks. And even some days in the last week, I went for multiple walks a day, changing my environment, right? Not just being in my room at my desk and on my computer in silo, getting out and going to coffee shops with friends. So while we continue to grow as business owners and as individuals, we have to remember that all of it coincides with one another. And if your personal life isn't good, your business life isn't going to be good. So we need to make sure that we are in alignment with all things that we do. And before we can even get started, we can't even talk about next steps until we're in alignment. So this week's homework is to get in alignment. See what's going on in that closet. Continue doing that work. Make sure you take some time to listen to the previous episodes of the Girl Boss Brand podcast, and I will see you next